I'm Miss Amy from the New City Library, and we've been traveling around the world with story time. Today, we'll be staying right here in the United States. First, let's look at our map. Here's the United States on the continent of North America. New York, where we live, is right here on the East Coast next to the Atlantic Ocean. So what do we know about the U.S.? We should know a lot because we live here, right? All right, so if you were to see your friend at school, or you went to visit your cousins, or you saw your neighbor outside in your neighborhood, you would say hello or hi to them. A popular sport in the U.S. is baseball. They call this America's pastime. The American flag has a couple of symbols on it. You'll see red and white stripes, and they represent the original 13 colonies. In the corner, you'll see a blue rectangle with lots of white stars. Those stars represent today's 50 states. And our national bird is the bald eagle. The bald eagle represents strength, determination, and pride. Our very first president here in the United States was George Washington. So let's read a little story about George Washington's cows by David Small, and I'm reading it to you with permission from Macmillan Books. Look at the cow. Where is he going? Looks like he's going into the house. I thought cows lived in barns. George Washington's cows were kept upstairs and given their own special room. They never were seen by the light of the day, no matter for what or by whom. They had to be dressed in lavender gowns and bedded on cushions of silk. Fancy. Fed on a diet of jam and cream scones, frequently sprayed with expensive colognes, begged every hour in obsequious tones, or they wouldn't give any milk. George Washington's hogs, on the other hand, were a genteel and amiable group. Delighted to help with the household chores if a servant had fever or croup. They served the dinner precisely at 8 with manners uncommonly fine. More fancy animals. Eager to serve the honored guests, leaping to meet each need expressed, always polite and impeccably dressed, they were certainly well-bred swine. George Washington's sheep were all scholars with a flock of impressive degrees. They had not the least bit of trouble in counting by 20 or 3s. They sorted the stars with a needle and measured the sea with a stick. Then raising their hooves in triumph they cried, we say with a certain amount of pride, with the ocean, if the ocean were stood up on its side, you would see that it's deep but not thick. Very smart. With a head in his hand, George Washington sighed and shed a few tears in his tea. My cows wear dresses, my pigs wear wigs, and my sheep are more learned than me. In all of my days on the farm I have seen nothing to equal such tricks. Then bundling into his wool underwear, he ferried across the cold Delaware and muttered in tones of deepest despair, "Sell the farm, I'll try politics." The end. that was kind of a funny story. I have never seen farm animals like that. I don't know about you, maybe you have. Let's read a story about America called America Is. And this story has some facts and information about places in the United States. And it was written by Stacy Schuett, and I'm reading it to you today with permission from Simon & Schuster. America is our country. It is the place we call home. We are the nation whose name means freedom to people all over the world. You see the Statue of Liberty? America is 50 states from the Atlantic coast to the Pacific Ocean and beyond. The United States of America. Some states are big, some states are small. 13 of the states are very old. The rest came later, one by one. America is a flag of stars and stripes. 50 stars for the 50 states we have now, and 13 stripes for the 13 states that began our nation. America is the pledge we say at school. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It is the song we sing, hands over our hearts. Oh, say, can you see? We don't need to finish that one. America is old barns and country roads, fields of corn and wheat, and farmers who work sunup to sundown. American farmers grow food that feed families all over the world. America is teachers and their students in schools in every state, and miners and factory workers, artists and musicians, bakers and bankers, and millions of other people who work at many different kinds of jobs at every hour of the day and night. America is skyscrapers tall with windows up, up, up. And people in cities who rush to and from work in cars, in buses, in taxi cabs, on subways and fast trains. Whoosh, honk, honk, hurry, hurry. From New York City to Chicago to Los Angeles, this is America. America is the swamps and bayous of the deep south, and ponds that glimmer from east to west, and lakes so huge and deep they can seem as big as an ocean, and rushing streams and creeks and brooks, and rivers that are long and wide that bring our states together as one vast land from the Hudson to the Ohio to the Mississippi to the Columbia. This is America. America is home to its very first people, the proud tribes who live in peace with the earth and the sky, whose words bring wisdom to all who listen. And America is those of us who came later, many kinds of people from many countries of the world. We are one family, we are one team, and we are Americans. And America is the prairie, tall grasses, and wind and stars. Listen, this is America. America is the stone walls of New England, the forests of the Northwest, the osprey and oysters of the Chesapeake Bay, and Minnesota winters 10 degrees below zero and sometimes colder. The West and its ranches are part of this nation too, with 10-gallon hats and boots and spurs, with herds of cattle and lassos in cowboys' hands. Rodeo, yippee-yi-yay! This is America. America is rugged mountains with caps of snow and deserts that are hot and dry, 110 degrees in the shade. It is Niagara Falls, the Grand Canyon, and sandy beaches to fly a kite on, or dig all the way to China. So much to see in every state. America. America is big trucks and wide horizons and roads that take us east and west, north and south, and America is old towns with old names and new towns yet to be. that tell our history then and now. It is a nation where 50 states meet, where we are all one. America is the land where we are free to live, to speak out, to worship, to play, to work, and to follow our dreams. America is names we remember, like George Washington, Betsy Ross, Ben Franklin, Harriet Tubman, Abraham Lincoln, Eleanor Roosevelt, and Martin Luther King Jr. And holidays we call our own, like Thanksgiving in November, to honor the Pilgrims and Native Americans, and the 4th of July, when every summer in every state, fireworks light up the sky. Happy birthday, America. America is letters and phone calls, emails and faxes from family, from friends from the 50 states near and far, vacations and reunions. We connect across the rivers, across the mountains, across the miles, across America. America is the stories of all of us told together from continent to continent across the world. We are the nation whose name means freedom. America is our country. It is the place we call home. The end. Well, I hope to see you again, and we'll travel to a new place.